In a bustling city lived a man named Kwame. Kwame wasn't just any man. He was a titan of industry, a self-made millionaire whose name was whispered with respect in every boardroom. His days were a whirlwind of meetings, contracts, and power lunches. He had everything a man could desire: wealth, success, and the love of a woman named Amara, who was his world, his sun, and his moon. For Kwame, life was perfect. Or so it seemed. One rainy Tuesday, the storm wasn't just outside. It was raging inside Kwame's heart. Amara, the woman he had built his entire world around, left him. Her departure was quiet, just a note on the polished mahogany table of their shared home. The words were simple, but they shattered his universe. "I can't do this anymore," it read. The silence that followed was deafening, a void where laughter and love once echoed. The titan began to crumble. Work lost its meaning. The thrill of a successful deal faded into a dull ache. The once vibrant city lights now seemed to mock his loneliness. Kwame, the man who commanded empires, couldn't command his own sorrow. He started to sell his assets, one by one. The luxury cars, the high-rise apartments, the thriving businesses. They were all just ghosts of a life he no longer recognized. He was trading his kingdom for solitude, believing that if he shed everything he had built, he could also shed the pain. His friends, worried, tried to intervene. They'd call, they'd visit, offering comfort and advice. But Kwame was a fortress, and his drawbridge was up. "You don't understand," he'd say, his voice a hollow echo of its former power. "Everything I did for her. Without her, it's all meaningless." He pushed them away, one by one, until he was completely alone, adrift in an ocean of despair. His grand empire had been reduced to a small, rented room and a bank account that was steadily shrinking. One evening, as Kwame walked aimlessly through a quiet park, he stumbled upon an old man sitting on a bench, meticulously carving a small piece of wood. The old man had a face etched with the lines of time, but his eyes held a bright, knowing spark. He looked up at Kwame, his gaze gentle yet piercing. "A heavy heart makes for heavy steps, young man," he said, his voice calm and steady. Kwame, startled, just nodded. He sat on the other end of the bench, the silence stretching between them. Finally, the old man spoke again, not looking at Kwame but at his carving. "You remind me of a story," he began, "about a king who lost his most prized diamond. He searched his entire kingdom, turned every stone, emptied every coffer, but it was gone. The king fell into a deep sadness, for he believed the diamond was the source of all his joy and power." Kwame listened, intrigued despite himself. The old man continued, "One day, a wise woman came to the palace. She didn't look for the diamond. Instead, she asked the king, 'Your Majesty, before you had this diamond, were you not still a king? Did your kingdom not flourish under your care?' The king thought for a moment and realized she was right. His worth was not in the diamond, but in himself. The diamond was just something he had, not something he was." The old man put down his carving and looked directly at Kwame. "You, young man, have been searching for a lost diamond. You've given away your entire kingdom, believing your worth was tied to it. But you are the king, not the jewel. The power, the drive, the brilliance that built your empire, that wasn't for her. That was from you. It has always been inside you." The old man's words were like a key, unlocking a door in Kwame's mind that had been bolted shut for months. He had spent so long defining himself by Amara's love that he had forgotten who he was without it. He was the architect of his own success. He was the source of his own strength. Amara hadn't given him his ambition. She had simply been there to witness it. Kwame felt a shift within him, a tiny spark igniting in the darkness. "But how? How do I start again?" he asked, his voice cracking with emotion. The old man smiled, a warm, genuine smile. "You don't start again. You simply continue. The sculptor doesn't discard the whole block of marble if a small piece chips away. He works with what he has, and often, the final masterpiece is even more beautiful for its unexpected contours. Your experiences, even the painful ones, have added depth and character to you. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience." The old man stood up, his joints creaking slightly. He placed the small wooden carving, a beautifully detailed bird, into Kwame's hand. "Remember the king," he said. "Your kingdom awaits its ruler." And with that, he walked away, disappearing into the twilight as mysteriously as he had appeared. Kwame looked at the wooden bird in his palm. It was small, yet it felt heavy with meaning. That night, for the first time in a long time, he didn't dream of what he had lost. He dreamed of what he could build. The next morning, Kwame woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. He didn't try to reclaim his old empire. Instead, with the little money he had left, he started small. He invested in a tiny local coffee shop, not for the profit, but for the connection. He spent his days talking to people, listening to their stories, and serving them with a smile. He found joy not in multimillion-dollar deals, but in the simple act of making someone's day a little brighter. He learned to be a king again, not of a corporate empire, but of his own life. His new kingdom was smaller, quieter, but it was built on a foundation of self-worth and resilience. He realized that true wealth wasn't measured in bank accounts or possessions, but in peace of mind and the strength to rise after a fall. Years later, Kwame was a happy man, the beloved owner of a chain of successful coffee shops known for their warmth and community spirit. He never saw the old man again, but he often held the small wooden bird, a constant reminder that our value isn't in what we have or who we love, but in the unshakable strength we find within ourselves. His heartbreak was not the end of his story. It was the unexpected plot twist that led him to a truer, more meaningful version of his own life. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content that aims to inspire and uplift. See you in the next one.